Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Hello, beautiful starseeds. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Gobind, and this is your Channel for Grace. Thank you guys so much for being here live, and thank you to those of you that are watching the replay. We are going to be going over the astrology of this full moon in Cancer that is happening tomorrow. We always do this broadcast right before the new moon and right before the full moon. We go really deep into the astrology. I talk about the general meaning of the full moon or new moon and what sign it's in and what that means for us. I also talk about the specific aspects or any stargates that are aligning, any portals that are opening with this, with the transits of the planets, exactly the moment of that moon. I also go over the Sabian symbol, which gives us more meaning to sort of digest and integrate the energy and the frequency of this powerful galactic event. I also go over the Chandra symbol, which is very similar. And then we go over the gene key of the moon. And if it's a full moon, we go over the gene key of where the moon is at. And then we also go over the gene key of where the sun is at astrologically. So, and today there's actually a really special gene key that we're going to talk about. And tomorrow we do the actual ceremony of the full moon or new moon, but tomorrow's the full moon. And same time, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, you can tune in, and we would love to have you here. So let me say hi to everybody that's in the chat. Hello, Carmelola and Nelvin. Hello, Jill. Welcome in. Courtney, how are you? Humble Raw, Boobarth, Maricela, hello. Jeremy Mark, welcome. Danny Danish is my real name. Hello, Courtney Brown. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. Valerie, how are you? Shelby, welcome. Babe, how's it going? So good to have you guys here, and really excited to talk about the astrology of this full moon. Before we do that, I do want to invite you to download my free moon astrology guide, which is going to tell you what your psychic gifts are based off of your moon sign. And then it'll enter you into my email list, and that's the best way to stay in contact with me. I'm also on Instagram at Channel for Grace, MeWe as well. We have a MeWe group called Channel for Grace Starseed Soul Tribe, which we would love for you to join. And I also have another Instagram account called Moon Goddess Training, which I should share that the Moon Goddess training starts in, gosh, like less than 15 days, 2.5 weeks or something like that. And this program that I've been designing for a long time, it has been evolving. We've been doing the Moon Goddess training for like a few years now, 4 years. And now it has evolved into this very powerful initiation journey into ancient Hermetic alchemy, ancient Atlantean wisdom from the Atlantean priests. We're actually going to go through the temple initiations of ancient Egypt, connected to the laws of the universe, which is another thing that we're going to dive deep into, the fundamentals of how everything works, and how to access the web of life, the flower of life sphere, which is basically the web of life, the Akashic records, and then what they are and how to access them. Eventually, this training will lead to a certification training. Level 2 will be how to basically use this energy and practical tools to actually heal your life and heal yourself and move through those blockages that are holding you back, those frequencies. We're going to talk about frequency and sound and light and energy, and how all of that has everything to do with your life and where you're at. We'll also talk about how the law of attraction fits into all of this. And along with that, everything that we've already been covering in the Moon Goddess training, which is astrology, moon centers, empowerment, the goddesses, the activations, but this time we're going to do the temple activations. So if you want to join, if you want to learn about all of these powerful, fundamental ways in which the universe works so that you can learn to basically create the life that you've always wanted for yourself, then join this Moon Goddess training. It starts January 29th and it is level 1. There's a link below to check out more information about that. And I do have a payment plan for anyone that's interested in that. But really the price is a giveaway. And then the other thing is, if you have not yet joined our Star Seed membership, I would invite you to join us. This is an ongoing membership. It's just $22 a month. What you get is basically me guiding you through the powerful astrological transits, the new and the full moons, major aspects that are going on, major transits, major connections between planets. If anything big is happening that's going to affect us long term, we do live events. So there's minimum of one private live event on Zoom per astrological season. So we start when the sun enters a sign, and when it exits that sign, that is a month for us, which doesn't match up exactly with the Gregorian calendar. Like, we don't start on the first of the month. But this is actually really a beautiful way. We've had so much fun. I just, yesterday, I think it was yesterday or the day before, I uploaded a video explaining everything about Mercury Retrograde, how it's affecting us collectively, and then what about where it's at in your chart and what that means for you personally. Tomorrow, I'm going to upload a video, which this is something that we do on every new and full moon, a meditation video for the frequency of that specific full moon or new moon, with a journal PDF that you can print, download and print, and then write out and answer the questions after you do the meditation, which allows you to tap into the frequency of the moon. On Tuesday, we actually have a special event happening, which is the nodes are moving or switching into Taurus and Scorpio. So I'm going to be creating an entire video focused on that, and also which houses it's affecting for you in your charts. And then on Wednesday, the sun enters Aquarius, and we officially enter the second month, because this is our first month. We enter the second month for us in the Starseed membership, but I'll be doing a video of everything that's coming up for the whole month ahead. Like the whole month in overview, and what to prepare for, and how to get ready, and all this amazing stuff. I know there's a few more people that jumped in, so let me say hi to you guys. Heather, welcome in. Veronica, how's it going? Dawn is here. Welcome. Amanda, hello. Thank you all. Did I say hi to you, Chanel, yet? I don't know, but hello. Teleporting us into the next dimension. Yes, there's actually a huge event that is happening on February 22nd of 2022. If you guys don't follow Matias De Stefano, Fundación Arsayan is the name of the channel. He's been going live every day explaining exactly what's going on, why this powerful portal is happening, and basically he's got an entire project, a global event that you can be a part of. Doesn't matter where you are in the world, you can be a part of it. You can actually travel to Egypt and be with him at the Giza pyramid and at the Sphinx, which actually I have a little, there might be a possibility that I may be going with my mom, which is insane. That, I mean, we don't know yet, but I have a feeling that we may find out tomorrow. And if I end up going, oh my God, I'm totally going to be like filming videos, and I'm going to try to go live if I can, but you guys will get to see the journey that I go through when we go over there. But basically this global event that is happening is the activation of the planetary web. So speaking of this flower of life, which is basically representative of the web, the web of the planet. So all spherical things hold within them this web, this information. It's kind of like the Akashic. And when the earth raises its frequency to be open to connect with the wisdom of other planets that have already ascended. So basically Earth is ascending, right? We've known this, like in the spiritual world, this is something that's been known about for fucking thousands of years, excuse my language. 12,000 years ago, the Atlantean priests set up an initiation path that would always remind us and help us to never forget how to do this, how to come back to our center, remember who we are as a humanity, and how to keep sort of this web activated. It's like the internet, literally, right, of the planet. The web of the planet. And so what's happening at this event is anyone that actually goes to the event in Egypt, and they're still registering people. He said like a couple of days ago that there's still 200 spots left for one of the groups, and the group Fire is the one that they're enrolling for, but you have to contact them. He also asked for anyone that has information that would like to share it, because they really need to fill these spots, because there's a very there's numerology and there's sacred geometry in the numbers of the people that are going to be in the group. So there's going to be over I believe over 2,000 people at this event in Egypt, but there's a group that is called the group of Ether that is basically everyone all over the world. Wherever you are in the world, you have to go into their website and find the planetary web, the nodes of the planet, and find the closest node that you're close to. And then go there on the 22nd, February 22nd of 2022, and like basically hold down, like anchor the web, hold it down for the world. So this is going to be a global event, you guys. You have to be a part of it. Like there are zero excuses. The last group, which is the group of Ether, which is everybody all over the world, it's totally free to join, and you can join. I think closer to the date, there'll be a button that turns on, and you can actually register for the event for that part. But it's free if you're in that group, if you're all over the world, if you can't go to Egypt. But like I said, there's a possibility that I may be going to Egypt. And so I'm really excited, and I'll keep you guys updated on that. Dawn says, I listened to him all day today. Oh my God, isn't it amazing? So if anybody wants to come, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's going to be amazing. I am like holding the frequency and the vibration that it happens, because I really feel called to be there. And I've often shared that I feel like I was there with Matthias. I think we all were there with Matthias 12,000 years ago, when Atlantis was, during the fall of Atlantis. And we were part of this, designing of the path. And he is one of those souls that woke up And at 12 years old, started remembering past lives in Atlantis as this girl who was on the priestess path, and she moved through the initiation. So part of what we're doing in the Moon Goddess training, which starts on the 29th, which I think is so synchronistic, he is going to be going through the temples with a specific group of people, which is, he calls it the group of water, which is only 144 and it's already filled up, that group. But he's going to be going temple by temple along the Nile, activating this initiatory path, which is how we're going to be accessing and going into these temples through the Akashic in our Moon Goddess training. While there's actually a group of people in Egypt that are going to be simultaneously actually at the temples, activating the temples. So this will never happen again. Okay, there's not going to be ever, like, we'll always continue to do this because I want you guys to learn and be activated and learn how, you know, what this whole initiation path was all about and what they learn in all the temples and why in that order and all of that stuff. And how did they become these high priests and priestesses of ancient Atlantis? This is what we're literally doing in the Moon Goddess training, along with everything else we already do. So we're adding like this whole other amazing opportunity to just really dive in and begin, it's like really officially start a path. And connect to that ancient wisdom of 12,000 years ago, because the planet is awakening, but the event on the 22nd is like huge. Definitely sign up for it. If you can actually go to Egypt, they need 200 more people. So, and everyone's probably asking, you do not have to be vaccinated to enter Egypt. So anyways, for anybody that is curious about that, you do have to take like a PCR test or something like that. But anyways, that's the only reason why I would actually be going. Because if that was not the case, then I probably wouldn't go. But what is actually really exciting is that there is a huge opportunity to be a part of this event, whether you can go to Egypt or not. So no excuses. I want everyone to go watch Matthias's videos. Get on board. He's already done 6 of them, and he goes into detail what the project is, what are we doing, so that you understand the whole thing and you can be a part of this beautiful and powerful, like the more people, the more we'll activate, you know, the web of the planet. And then he was, oh my God, today he was talking about how we are literally becoming the flower of life. And we're activating the flower of life around the planet, and how we are going to vibrate. We're going to vibrate the web so bright with all of this activation so that the bees from the universe come and pollinate this planet. And so that consciousness and the awareness and the new ideas that come from ascended planets come into the earth, get infused into this web. And so that because we are the consciousness of the planet, we receive those frequencies, and that's how evolution and that's how humanity will move forward into the Aquarian age. Boom. All right. I'm done talking about that. So, nope, Dawn. Nope. I'm telling you, I would not be going if that wasn't the case. I've researched it. So, I mean, you have to research it, but like what I researched was what happens when you get on a plane and then you go over there and then you come back, like, can you enter back in? And if you're a US citizen currently, if you're a citizen, you don't need to be vaccinated to re-enter the US. You do have to have that PCR test. So like you do the test before you leave on the plane, and then you take the test before you come back. Like, cross the fingers that, you know, the test comes out negative, because if it doesn't, then you're like stuck over, you have to like quarantine and all that shit. But anyways, it's actually a really, really, the possibility just kind of like opened up, you know, Does Matias have a YouTube channel? Yes, it's called Fundación Arsayan. Let me see if I can actually, yeah, I want you guys to have this information. So I am going to find the link and actually link it onto the chat right now. Give me 1 second. Okay, copy. And let's go to here and see if this works. Hopefully it'll link it. Yes. Okay. That's his channel. Go to his channel, subscribe, find the videos. They're really easy. It's like number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. It's the biggest portal of our lifetimes. This is not going to repeat itself, y'all. Anyways. So let's talk about this full moon in Cancer, shall we? Oh, can someone spell his channel so you can find it? I just linked it in the chat. Yeah, Matias is the shiznit. I fucking love him. Sorry. It's like that's how passionate I am. It makes me actually cuss. Are we going to learn about the blue cube in the Atlantic Ocean? You mean in the Moon Goddess training? No. I'm not going to talk about that, but we will learn about some epic sacred geometry and how that applies to you in your life, because we have to talk about things that are relevant for you in your life. Because the whole reason that the whole way that the planet will evolve is if we start to become coherent as individuals on the planet, coherent with the 7 laws of the universe, which is related to the 5 platonic solids and the creation of the universe. And so, yes, I think, is that all the questions? There may be some more that I missed. I apologize. That's amazing that your mom is, dude, Courtney, there's a whole story there. There's like a whole story that is a continuation of like, okay, so my dog Gaia died actually exactly a month ago. Holy shit. So she died. Tomorrow will be exactly 1 month since she died. So she died on a full moon. And so exactly 1 month later is the next full moon, which is the one that we're going to be talking about. Without, it's no coincidence that I named her Gaia and that she was with me for 13 years, which is also a sacred number. There's 13 moon centers. I mean, it's just, I can't even. And then this whole event is for the activation of Gaia, the planet. And when she passed, I had this vision of her in the universe, and I saw like a spherical energy, and I saw this like pink, it's like kind of like nebula kind of colors, but it was like a sphere. She was like, it's like she became a planet of some sort. Like she's just this giant being, like spherical being in the universe. And there's so much there. I'm literally going to like, this is going to be part of what I write in my book when I finally write my book. But yeah, and the whole experience that I had when we went into the Akashic records in my training, and I saw me, my mom, and my grandma, and basically what I discovered was that my grandma came into the world through Gaia to be with me. She was like a very huge part of my life when I was young. She planted the esoteric seeds, I guess you could say, and she came back as Gaia to be with me. And when I named her Gaia, I had no idea of any of this stuff. I just knew it was like a Greek goddess. Like I didn't really know anything about like mythology or spirituality or anything. But Gaia has literally like, been with me for 13 years of my spiritual journey. And it's just, there's so many synchronicities to the story. And I wanted to be there so bad, and when I found out that like the doors started kind of opening, like you can be there actually, if you want to, you can go. So I have been just tuning into what, like I've released it. Like I did everything I needed to do to like start the official process of like signing up, but I've released it because meaning to the universe, like, okay, now it's up to the law of cause and effect, and whatever I put out there is going to come back. The universe knows exactly what I need. If I need to be there, I will be there with my mom. If not, then I will be here and we'll be doing something on YouTube, like as part of the event. But either way, we're going to be a part of it through this channel. So thank you guys so much for listening to me talk about that. Hello, Danny. Welcome in. You're welcome, Anna. Any other questions? No, on 22222. You mean from Matthias? That's not his, that is not his, the question about the blue cube. It's not one of the things that he talks about. He talks about like a bunch of other stuff, but I've never heard him talk about the blue cube. You're welcome, Humble Raw. You're welcome. Oh, Boobarth, that's sweet. Hello, Joan. Welcome in. It must feel like a major weight has been released from your shoulders. Yeah, I mean, this whole experience of these last few months has just been amazing, and this year is just wild. So why don't we actually hop on and onto the chart and start talking about this full moon in Cancer, because it's going to be a really beautiful full moon. And when we talk about a full moon or a new moon, there's always how I do astrology is I like layer on the cake. Or another way is to say I like go deeper into the rabbit hole. That's probably a better way to describe the way I do the astrology, because I start with the general and we go towards the more in depth, the more powerful astrologically, so that we can understand all of the layers of what makes this moon powerful. Okay. So maybe he has. I've never heard of him talk about it, but maybe someone asked a question. Will you send me the link of the video that you watched, Dawn? Because I'd actually be interested in knowing about that. Okay. So here we go. This is the chart of this full moon, and the way that you can tell it's a full moon is because the sun and the moon are exactly opposing. And it's happening at 27 degrees, 50 minutes of Cancer. And of course, on the other side, you've got the sun at 27 degrees and 50 minutes of Capricorn. And there's a lot going on. We're going to go like layer by layer into what this actually means altogether. But in general, when we look at a moon in Cancer, the first thing is that the moon in Cancer is actually exalted. It's actually exalted. I mean, in dignity, sorry. Okay. Let's focus here. Dignity. Okay, whatever. I can't spell. Anyways, but this means that the moon feels really, really good when it's in Cancer. It's in its home sign. It's where it feels the best. This is the sign of the moon goddess. This is basically the sign of the high priestess. Goddess Isis would be like the representative of this energy. It is the sacred divine feminine. It is the first sign that connects us to the element of water. So it's about learning to understand our emotions, because our emotions are connected to the realm of the water. The emotions it's a symbol of the affects, the water. I mean the emotions. So this is what is so powerful about this moon, is that for one, many times when we have a moon in Cancer, even just if it's not a new moon or a full moon, it actually means that it may be an emotional time for us. And depending on where this energy is in your chart, is where you're going to be emotional about, like that area of your life. Now, a moon in Cancer, keep the chat relevant, you guys, please. A moon in Cancer is going to activate your intuition. is going to activate your feelings and your emotions. This is also where we find the Sirius star seeds. And the Sirius star seeds are very, very intuitive and very connected to their creativity. When we think of the element of water too, it's also connected to the second chakra, which is the sacral chakra. And it's the chakra where your creativity comes from. So there's a connection here as well. Sirius has a lot of planets that also are water planets. And so there's like, we think of mermaids and dolphins and whales, but actually dolphins and whales on this planet, they hold the frequency, they communicate through vibration, sound in the water. It's even easier to feel the vibrations, right? Because when you see that you can actually see water and feel water vibrating. Anyways, you could feel it if you were like standing next to a subwoofer or whatever, the vibrations of sound. But in the water, I feel like it's really easy to really perceive those frequencies. So anyways, the dolphins and the whales are a really powerful connection to the Sirius energy, and the fact that they live in the water and they hold the memories. They hold the information. The water holds the information. By the way, if you guys didn't know, that's why you can pray with water and then drink it, and you're infusing it with information. That's why water prayers and healing water meditations and things like that work, is because the water can hold the information. That's its job. That's what it does. So it's so our emotions connected to their portals that help us open the doors to other dimensions. And that's how we should learn to use our emotions, and not in the way that we use them, which is kind of out of control, and we don't even know why we feel the way we feel. We don't even know that our emotions are telling us something, right? We don't know that we're manifesting things. It's out of control. So we need to take the control back. The only way to do that is to learn how it all works. Cancer moon is also a connection to the heart chakra as well. The mother, the moon goddess, home and family, because it rules the fourth house, the sacred feminine flow, and also the moon centers as it relates to the moon goddess training and what I teach in the moon goddess training. Exactly, Valerie. Isn't that amazing? And so that's the general part of a moon in Cancer. So why it feels emotional is because it's connected to all of these things that I just mentioned. But there's a lot more going on during this full moon. The first thing is that the North Node is exactly on the Pleiades. Exactly on the Pleiades. And the Pleiades are the connection also to the heart chakra, the connection to the energy of Leo in a way, because when I think of the Pleiades, I think of the fifth house, which is the house of joy, gratitude, pleasure, fun, play, like playfulness, romance, children, right? Inner child. And the Pleiades teach about that. The Pleiades actually teach that the most powerful creative life force is sexual energy. And sexual energy gets activated when we allow ourselves to play and have joy and fun. It doesn't really have anything to do with sex, but it does have everything to do with, again, we're just talking about that second chakra and the root chakra, which are the ones that create the realities, right? They are the creative. They're connected to the organs in the body that actually create life, right? The sexual organs. And the Pleiades are all about that. They're light frequency, so they're very light. It's like a light energy that makes you feel happy and joyful. And it's very powerful because the next day, the North Node moves into Taurus. So this full moon is happening exactly on the last day of North Node Gemini, and that's tomorrow. That is so powerful. It is wild that the full moon will illuminate, right? A full moon is bright in the sky. Like, it doesn't let you not look at it. It makes you face, the deep emotions that come with it, and it wants you to celebrate and like expand. And it's actually reflecting the light of the sun. The moon doesn't necessarily have light of its own, but it's a reflector. It's like a mirror. And when there is a full moon, everything gets magnified, both emotionally, physically. Like, people kind of act funny during full moons. Like, hospitals are more full of people, and people kind of do crazy shit. And it's like, that's the energy of a full moon. But this is also a Pleiadian portal, because of this is the last day of North Node at 0 degrees of Gemini. The moon is actually going to be making a trine to Neptune. So Neptune's over here, and so here's the trine to Neptune. It's not an exact trine, but the energy and the frequency is there. And I've talked about trines before. They bring harmony. Neptune is our intuition. So this means that Neptune during this moon will enhance and activate our intuition, our psychic abilities, our ability to see the unseen, hear the unheard, understand at a deeper level, clairvoyance, clairsentience, especially. Those kind of things become heightened, and then it brings harmony. Like, you can understand how your emotions now manifest realities, literally, in this third dimension. And then the thing that's really, there's another, let's talk about Pluto last, but Mars is very close during this moon, is very close, like 1 degree away from the galactic center, 1-2 degrees away from the galactic center, which means that it is connected to the 9th dimension according to the Pleiades, which is the black hole at the center of the Milky Way galaxy. There's a lot of Pleiadian messages coming through here. And the black hole at the center of the Milky Way galaxy is known to be a portal by which many beings travel through, because when you are in those when you are in a part of an ascended planet, a being of an ascended planet, you learn how to travel only bound by the rules of time and not bound by the rules of space, meaning you don't necessarily have to take your body, because that's not really how it works. You go in your Merkaba. Which is significant because we're going to come back to this idea of the Merkaba or Merkaba, however you want to say it. But the galactic center is the Akashic records. It holds the information of everything that's gone down in our solar system, all the planets, everything included, everything that is currently going on, and all the possibilities of the future exist, in the galactic center. And Mars is there, which means drive, passion, desire to take action, motivation. So it's an interesting connection here. The planet Jupiter, who just recently moved into Pisces. Pisces is a big theme for this year. Jupiter is 1 degree away from a star called Fomalhaut. Fomalhaut is at 3 degrees of Pisces, and Fomalhaut is the star on the mouth of the fish. It's the mouth of the southern fish. You know how the Pisces constellation is kind of like a V? Well, anyways, it's the 2 fish. One of the fish has a star called Fomalhaut. It is one of the 4 royal fixed stars, and it's connected to Christ consciousness. Please don't say anything about my spelling. And it is also connected to Archangel Gabriel, who is the messenger of God. Hello, Tania, welcome in. So Jupiter is on Archangel Gabriel, the messenger of God. There is like a divine message coming through this full moon. Like, this is a lot of Stargate energy. It is really powerful stuff. Mercury has just gone retrograde. Where is he? He's over here. So Mercury has just gone retrograde, and he's still technically squaring Uranus. So this is unexpected things, but it's like an unexpected message from the divine in regards to the astrology of this moon. An unexpected message from stars, the Pleiadians, an unexpected message from our star families, from the galactic center. This is actually a really powerful portal that is opening up as we speak. And if you want to know more about what this Mercury retrograde is asking you to do, join my Starseed membership. I did a whole video on it where I talk about everything Mercury retrograde, the 2 signs it's going to be going retrograde in, what that means for us collectively, and what that means for you in your chart based off of your rising sign. The next thing is Venus is actually making a trine to Uranus. Let's clear some of this stuff up because it's getting a little bit messy. The other thing that's happening on this moon is that we've got Venus, who is over here. She is making a trine to Uranus. So it's still like unpredictable stuff, and she is still retrograde. So things may feel like they've slowed down quite a bit since Friday because Mercury went retrograde too. However, Uranus is about to go direct. He's going direct on Tuesday, right when the nodes switch into Taurus and Scorpio. So that's why this is a powerful thing. But what this is, that trine to Uranus is in relationships, is what are the new things, the new structures, the new ideas that you've harnessed from all of this Capricorn retrograde about relationships? Like, what do you actually want in relationships? I've talked about Venus retrograde and her cycles that she's been going through, the conjunction with the sun, the Cassini point, and the star point, like in the pentagram. One of the points she just made on January 8th, it was the Capricorn star point. The next one is going to be, can't remember exactly which direction it goes, but let's say it goes down the star this way. So the next point will be in 9 months, and it'll be in the sign of Libra, which is actually a really powerful thing for the collective in terms of relationship. That's going to be a really beautiful one. But I've talked a lot about this Venus energy that we've been feeling, and it's about stepping into sovereignty and literally responsibility of what do you want in relationships. Stop doing things that you don't want in relationships. End of story. I already talked about that this is the last day of the nodes in Gemini and Sag, and the energy will completely shift to the next day. And then the last thing I want to talk about, which I think is probably the most powerful, is this. Look at the Sun and Pluto. They are conjunct during this. They were exactly conjunct earlier today. I actually sent an email about it to the membership, but this is a big deal. This is the sun, the major luminary in astrology, shining the biggest light on the shadows. And they're both opposing the moon, who's like kind of over here all alone while all of this stuff is going on this side. So we have to look at Pluto specifically, what I want to focus on today, where this really shows up is in the gene key that the Sun and Pluto are basically in during this time. That's where I feel the most powerful messages coming through. So we're going to focus on that in regards to this. But this is intense. Pluto represents our power, our inner power, and basically how we attract things to us, because he's like a magnet. when you step into your power, you begin to attract. I feel that you begin to attract simply because you shine brighter. And this is because you found your essence, because you found your truth. And when you find your truth, like, people really like to be around that energy because it feels good, right? But this is intense. Like, moon opposed Pluto can be really intense emotions. You have already a very emotional moon opposing Pluto, which it's almost like Pluto is like, well, you might as well, there's all this other amazing things going on. You might as well take the deep dive as well. Just jump right in and join the party of everything is intense right now and the intensity is not going to go away. Just surrender to it. So there we go. I'm going to now switch over to kind of the second part of this broadcast, which, if you're new to this to this channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. But also, I want you guys to let me know in the chat if you're new, because we love saying hi to new people and welcoming in new members. Okay, so now we're going to switch gears and we're going to talk about the Sabian symbol of the moon, the Chandra symbol of the moon, and we'll finish it off with the gene key. The one thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, where the Sun and Pluto are in the gene key that they're in during this full moon. But let's go over the Sabian symbol of this moon. And what the symbols do is they essentially bring in more wisdom. Some of us, the intuitive types, and I'm just kidding, we're all intuitive, we just need to learn how to access that part of ourselves. But we really integrate and absorb information through symbols. We all do, because we live in a world that's full of archetypes everywhere. We follow archetypes like all over the place. And symbols can be a great way for you to feel it at a deeper level. So here is the Sabian symbol for 27 degrees of Cancer. An Indian girl introduces her anthropologist boyfriend to the tribe. And please don't get politically correct about this, because these are like old symbols. I just want to put that out there, like, oh, that's not politically correct. I'm quoting the book, so you can bring it up to the author. All right. An Indian girl introduces her anthropologist boyfriend to the tribe. After the couple leaves, a heated discussion ensues. Now, here's what this means. Forming a warm working relationship with a group whose viewpoint differs widely from your own. Think of this as the themes that are going on in the collective. Put the symbolism to what's going on right now in the world. Hashing out one's differences. Argumentative. Teamwork. Collaborative efforts. Relationships of intimacy and trust. Friendships and marriages. Problems of conflicting loyalties. Is the boyfriend using the girl to gain access to the tribe as an anthropologist? ? Gaining acceptance in a new group versus serving as a gatekeeper in an established group. Gaining access to a group by making friends with a dominant member of the group. Using sponsorship as a way of getting ahead. Winning an argument by being able to see both sides. Winning people over by speaking with sincerity, simplicity, and humility. So these are some of the themes that we're seeing in the collective in terms of this specific Sabian symbol. There might be something that resonates with you there. Maybe none of it resonates. Either way, that was the symbol. So now we go to the Chandra symbol. And I actually really love the Chandra symbols. They really bring in this sort of poetic kind of view of everything. So, a tremendous cave on the bank of a river. Can you picture it? Oh, that's awesome, Courtney. What did you just join, Tania? A tremendous cave on the bank of a river. Just picture it. Inwardly knowing where to go, what to do, how to do it, and where it all leads. I'm going to inject a little word here called Merkaba. You have a special faculty for karmic clairvoyance, which means seeing the cycles of time, space, and time, or sensing the individual and collective destiny territory that must be navigated through. Prophecy much? Placed strategically in the molten core of world dilemma to remember how to get it right. Driven by a force of will that is overwhelming. Ooh, I like that. Matthias has been talking a lot about will. You are guided to be in the right place at the right time for catching the drift of the tide we are all swimming toward. Unconsciously and super consciously in touch and in tune with what is happening. Wow, this really matches a lot of what Matthias has been talking about. Consciously walking a tightrope between the heights and the depths, and never sure while being sure. Given an engraved destiny invitation to participate to the utmost in collective cycles of renewal and to stay within your place of power throughout. For you have gathered considerable awareness toward this time of decision. And this vertical chakras attunement is a welcome ingredient, one vitally needed. Let me read it without any pauses. A tremendous cave on the bank of a river, inwardly knowing where to go, what to do, how to do it, and where it all leads. You have a special faculty for karmic clairvoyance, or sensing the individual and collective destiny territory that must be navigated through. Placed strategically in the modern core of world dilemma to remember how to get it right. Driven by a force of will that is overwhelming, you are guided to be in the right place at the right time for catching the drift of the tide we are all swimming toward. Unconsciously and superconsciously in touch and in tune with what is happening, consciously walking a tightrope between the heights and the depths, and never sure while being sure. Given an engraved destiny invitation to participate to the utmost in collective cycles of renewal and to stay within your place of power throughout. For you have gathered considerable awareness toward this time of decision, and this vertical attunement is a welcome ingredient, one vitally needed. I think I want to frame that right now. Because this is just beyond. So powerful. Okay. Oh my God. Wendy. Take it easy there. Your phone's doing stuff. Those of you that have just been timed out, I can promise you it's been a complete accident. So just don't worry about it. You'll be back in 300 seconds. Okay. All right. So let's finish by talking about... I don't think I can undo all those things, you guys, but maybe I can. No. But just check your phone, Wendy, because your phone's doing funny things in the chat. Hopefully you're listening. she's accidentally deleting messages and timing people out. Okay. Dawn says, oh my God, it is literally heard it from him today. So synced up. Merkaba, tetrahedron, and the Trinity, all of it. Yes. Yes. Exactly. So we are going to now finish off by talking about the gene keys. And there's 2 gene keys involved here. And I want to talk about in more detail, the gene key that the sun is aligned with. And you've got the 56th gene key, which is on where the moon is at right now, which has the sort of code phrase of divine indulgence. All right, sorry, this is just keeps happening. I don't know why it's happening, but people are getting timed out for no reason. I apologize for all of this, you guys. Let me see if I can fix it real quick. I know this is a little bit, we'll take a little pause to see if I can fix this. I don't know that I can. Wendy, can you hear me? Are you watching? Are you listening? Okay, just give me 1 second, you guys. I'm sorry that I'm pausing, taking a little break, because this stuff is really, really important, and I want you guys to absolutely get it. So give me 1 second. And we'll get right back to it. But in the meantime, if anybody wants to ask any questions, that would be awesome. Yeah, exactly, Anne. It's Mercury retrograde. It's Mercury retrograde. Except it's a little bit much, and I need to fix it. I don't like it. All right. Let's see. Where is... It's all in the air. Yeah. Yeah, and it's funny because it's also a Mercury retrograde in Aquarius, which is kind of funny. But if it keeps happening, it's going to be really annoying. So I'm going to try to fix it. But it's going to take me like a second, I believe, to do this. Let's see. Because when I shared with you guys what we're actually doing, what it actually means to have that gene key in that spot, it is going to literally blow your mind. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay. So I think that should fix it in the meantime. Okay. Back to where were we? It's definitely Mercury retrograde. Mercury needs to be a little more free. All right, here we go. I think I fixed it. So we'll just move on with your bad self. Okay. So, yeah, Mercury retrograde. What are you going to do about it? Just do your best and move on. So, the 56th gene key is divine indulgence. Okay, divine indulgence. What does that mean? It means that it moves from the shadow of distraction. It's essentially, this full moon is essentially asking us to stop being distracted, the gift of enrichment, to really start to wake up and look around. Like, look around what's going on in the world right now. Look around you. What do you really see that's going on? Can you use your like tangible, powerful presence, your presence, and the ability to be aware of the present moment, conscious of the present moment, to see how much enrichment there is when you live that way. And then it's the city of intoxication, which is literally another word for divine indulgence, which means that you are in so much joy and in so much bliss that it almost feels like you're intoxicated with the divine, right? With this beautiful, divine, powerful energy. And that is what is the power of this full moon is inviting us to do, is to learn to love and be in the moment and be grateful and just connect to that intoxicating divine energy that allows you to really, it's Mercury retrograde, don't worry, that allows you to be like truly powerfully connected. That's that Pleiadian energy that I was talking about. That is the joy, the gratitude, the passion. This is like, feel what it feels like to be aligned with your own divinity, and you will be divinely intoxicated, right? It's a positive way to use the word intoxication. We can find a positive connotation in that word. And the next is the 60th gene key, which we're going to focus on this one, which is the cracking of the vessel. The cracking of the vessel. The earth ship Merkaba. The cracking of the vessel, the earth ship Merkaba. Goes from the gift of realism to the city of, goes from the shadow of limitation. So there's like a little kind of ascension. There's a shadow of limitation to the gift of realism to the city of justice. And it is part of the ring of Gaia. Okay, can I tell you something crazy? It's okay, Wendy, don't worry about it. Can I tell you something crazy? So literally, I bought myself a ring because I have my wedding ring and I'm not wearing it right now, but it's got this cute little diamond on it. And I wanted to add little bands to it to make it more comfortable to wear, because it's a slightly loose, and so it just kind of like moves around my finger a lot, and it's kind of annoying. So what I did was I bought one little band that's going to go like, behind it, and then another one that's going to go in front of it. But the one that's going to go in front of it, I was able to engrave it, and I engraved the word Gaia on it. The ring of Gaia. And it hasn't shipped yet, but it's on its way. I can't even handle this. And it's exactly 1 month from full moon to full moon of Gaia's passing, but like this new journey beginning. And the reason I was like, what should I engrave on the ring? And it was like Gaia. Like that's the Mother Earth, Gaia, like my dog, like all of it put together, like boom, we're doing this for Gaia. We're doing this for the planet. We're doing this for us. This is all connected to everything that's coming up in February and this powerful activation. The 60th gene key, the cracking of the vessel, the earth ship Merkaba, from the shadow of limitation to the gift of realism to the city of justice, the ring of Gaia. Let me make it clear what this city of justice really means. To do that, we're going to actually read from the Gene Keys book, Embracing Your Higher Purpose by Richard Rudd. The 60th city, justice. The earth ship, Merkaba. The 60th city is an extremely rare city. There are some things in life that are quite simply a mystery, and the 60th city is one of them. It is called justice, but the true meaning of this word in a Siddhic context is utterly different from our usual interpretation of it. I just have to do a little forewarning. This may trigger some people, this part of the book. Okay. As we have seen already, the 60th gene key concerns the laws and limitations that govern the world of matter. I can't even believe how much this is connected to everything that Matthias talks about. At the gift level, there is the intellectual understanding that these laws are not quite what they seem, reflected in the modern scientific view of quantum physics, and that there appears to be a force operating outside the laws governing physical reality. This force may be called God, grace, magic, fate, or even chance. But the fact is that it lies beyond our human control. When a human being attains a Siddhic state, it is a rare event because we are all connected through the universal field of consciousness. This event has repercussions for all sentient life. It doesn't matter whether the person in this state ever even sees another human being. The realization creates a great swell within the ocean of human consciousness, and the waves from this high frequency surge affect all human beings. What do you think we're going to do with this planetary web activation? Depending on the flavor of the city, that is, its specific coding, the upsurge in consciousness affects our universe in different ways. Someone who attains the 25th city of universal love, for example, activates a huge opening in the collective heart field that surrounds and connects all beings and creatures on our planet and beyond. Such an event would lead to all kinds of breakthroughs in the human world of form. When a being attains self-realization through the 60th city, something quite extraordinary happens. And to the shadow consciousness, something very frightening. The fundamental laws that govern physical existence are loosened, and in some cases broken altogether. A collective genetic level. This kind of event is called a frame shift mutation. When it occurs, the reading frame, I'm getting chills, within the whole of human DNA shifts so that the way in which the genetic code is translated is totally different. Matthias's job inside the pyramid, he literally said, is to be the mitochondria, the one that unzips DNA and then zips it back together. At a macrocosmic level, this has not happened very often in human history. And for this reason, this 60th city still remains a mystery. True justice, realized at a divine level, is not a phenomenon human beings can easily understand. However, the coming of justice is lodged within the collective psyche, being reflected through the 60th gene key and its chemical counterpart within your DNA. Thus, almost all cultures have myths or religions promising a day in the future when the gods will descend to earth and pronounce their judgment on all living beings, all living things. This myth, embodied, for example, in the Christian notion of Judgment Day, is a jaded human interpretation of the power of the 60th city. It is what we understand as divine justice. Because we humans think in terms of our morality, which, I may add, is a human construct. Morality only exists on Earth. It does not exist on other planets. There's a reason why we've reached these conclusions, but it is a human construct. It is not universal. Because we humans think in terms of our morality, we generally see justice in terms of punishment and reward. More often than not, we see it in terms of retribution. Even our most sophisticated spiritual and scientific systems think of life in terms of cause and effect, or karma. This is due to the limitation of being caught in a dualistic reality. Being caught in a dualistic reality. That's part of the reason why. However, the true concept of justice is not bound by laws at all. It could best be described as acausal. When something is acausal, it means that it happens for no reason that we can see or understand. Key phrase, that we can see or understand through our human eyes in a dualistic reality. In an acausal reality, causes do not lead to effects, and thus there can be no justice as we understand the world. If someone were to kill someone in an acausal world, they would never be punished. There would be no such thing as duality, therefore no separate person would exist to commit such a crime. How then are we to imagine such a reality? The answer is that we cannot, because we're in this duality dimension. The 60th city really does represent Judgment Day. It is the end of our illusions of right and wrong, good and bad, fair and unfair. The 60th city breaks all the laws of our reality, beginning with the law of time. Whereas we see time in a sequence, the 60th city experiences all time in the present. This means that there is no event horizon or sense of linearity, meaning that the person manifesting this city can therefore travel through time. We're going to actually learn about this stuff in the Moon Goddess training, you guys. The second law that the 60th city breaks is the law that holds form itself together. He's essentially talking about the different dimensions and the laws of the universe, what we call gravity. In other words, these people are able to travel not only through time, but also through space. The laws of gravity that hold atoms together and maintain order within our cosmos are completely smashed by this city. Our popular mythologies contain many stories of eyewitness accounts of people flying or beings from other worlds coming to Earth. Some of these accounts may be taken from manifestations of the 60th city. Many of the great esoteric schools, among them the Tibetan, the Taoist, and the Egyptian, have detailed accounts of masters who attained the body of light or the rainbow body. These examples, where the laws that govern our world of form have been broken, and this manifests through a mutation of the physical vehicle of the body. In India, there is a mythic Himalayan yogi known as Babaji. Many myths surround this man who is said to appear from time to time across the centuries, materializing in form, appearing, then disappearing. Other cultures have similar legends and stories that fire popular imagination, but are seen as a superstition by the general consciousness. There is enormous magic hidden within the 60th city. It is true magic because it is acausal. It cannot be learned, mastered, or imitated. Every time a being attains enlightenment through the 60th city, magic comes pouring through this being, and they become a phenomenon, a symbol of the breaking of the laws of form. At the collective level, the 60th city will be one of the very last cities to dawn. This is why we have always interpreted it as Judgment Day. When the 60th city begins to ignite in multiple beings It will be the ending of the world as we know it. Everything will indeed be revealed in its true sense. The laws that hold together the earth will crack, and our planet will begin to transmute. The 60th city has been known by certain esoteric schools as the Merkaba, or chariot of light. The true collective Merkaba is the earth herself, the spirit of Gaia. When the earth disappears, it will do so suddenly, and all the cells that have held the consciousness that we all call Gaia will move to another reality. Only then will we really know what the divine justice means. And it will have no meaning whatsoever on an individual level. We have absolutely no idea what this event will look like or feel like, but those with the 60th city hold the key to this ultimate magical occurrence. And we should remember that from the point of view of the 60th city, this has already occurred. Every human being knows this is our future, as it lies secretly encoded in the deep limitation of our material DNA. However, certain divine laws conceal those higher aspects of our own nature from our view. We have to finally evolve to be able to see them. And the two great laws that we must evolve beyond are gravity and time. These two laws are not absolute, but completely relative to awareness. The binary helix of our DNA is microcosmically composed out of these two laws. DNA holds memory, and it acts as the living, evolving, local structure for sentient life. Evolution demands time, and localization demands space. When awareness passes beyond these two laws, they are seen not as false, but as lower frequency signatures of higher divine laws. Beyond our human form, other realities and dimensions exist. The cosmos is teeming and abundant with interdimensional life forms. In more advanced forms of life, the mirror of DNA is no longer a binary structure, but a trinary helix, a trinity. The triple helix unites all beings beyond space and time and frees awareness to travel unimpinged throughout the cosmos. However, the triple helix cannot support a carbon-based life form. It requires a far subtler structure or vehicle, the underlying geometry of the universe itself. And that's conjunct Pluto. That energy has Pluto right there. The sun is at the 60th gene key, like vibrating this reality, and Pluto's right there like, yeah, that's your power. Yeah. Yeah, that's your true power. That's it. That's it. All right, you guys. That was a lot. Thank you all for joining me in this amazing broadcast. And I hope that you all have an amazing full moon tomorrow. And please come back tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, so that we can do the full moon ceremony together. Right, Courtney? And of everything that he was basically in there, like hinting at the dimension, multi dimensions, right? The 9 dimensions, sacred geometry, literally everything that we're going to learn We're going to learn how the universe works in the Moon Goddess training. So if you're signed up, you're going to understand this from a bunch of different perspectives. And if you're not signed up, join us on January 29th in like 2.5 weeks. Oh my God. I can't freaking wait. So link below, join the email list, download the free Moon Astrology Guide. Have an amazing week. I'll be back tomorrow for the ceremony, and I hope you guys have a beautiful evening. Sat Nam.